I'm such a behind the scene person. So it's like really embarrassing when I have to be on stage and speak. But then since it's about lots of people in the audience who that's what they do, they're behind the scene. No one knows what Ankur does, what so many of you do, but you kind of get to be seen through the work that you put out. So, I'm not used to wearing a jacket. I don't wear a jacket often. So that's one bother. Also to kind of wear a decent shirt and stuff like that. But once in a while it's nice. So today I got a chance. So thank you very much for this, Ruhail, getting me here. Another disclaimer is, but I think what we'll do is, since we're going to be talking about what we do at E4M, I'll have an AV, maybe some of you have seen it earlier at BW events, but we'll run it so that it gives you a glimpse of what we do at E4M. Many of these things that you see are pre-COVID, but that's all right. It's the same mission, it's the same business that we continue doing. Of the 15-minute commercial that I'm going to run, 3 minutes are gone. I'll take another 12, right? It's, as Hoshi said, it's all about bragging to this, so it's all right once in a while doing that, and to an audience to who it matters, who does this for a living, right? One disclaimer, most of the things that I'm going to be sharing have been, the IP belongs to a man you just heard, that's Dr. Anurag Batra. I got associated with exchange4media around 2011. By then, he had started all of this. He had created a new system for building communities in India. It's just that it was, he never thought it can be so big, but they had created the formula which he took forward to a business world, and as he said, now being copied by everyone. Remember, there was no serious, substantial B2B face-to-face things which were happening. It's Anurag's original idea in India. And I've studied it now that I've been doing this business for so many years, that he brought this. Now, here's the thinking that he shared with me. He said, listen, we print magazines, we do things online. By the way, we started online and then moved to print. So we are like digital natives to that extent. Things had begun moving so fast, and now they're even faster, that to cover them, to disseminate the changes, the trends, the developments through editorial process, and I don't mean to underestimate the journalists, but through journalists, is just not possible in today's time. So he said, we have to bring the people who know things, take them to the people who need to know, and that's it, and our job is done. So which is, what it meant was that it is a content, it is an editorial business for us. Events for us are experiential to the extent, the experience that we create is a knowledge that people look for when they come here, right? So our biggest experience, the experience that we offer is knowledge, right? That gives them a high. Knowledge that they can use in their work, in their business, do well, as Hoshi gave several examples. People come listen, they do well, they take care of their families. It eventually becomes emotional. But from where it starts, I'm glad Hoshi shared those examples, that those 45 minutes or the day-long thing or a 2-day-long thing that we create affects people's life in so many ways. But it starts with knowing what that can be done. Here's a technology that I need to bring in. Here's another way of looking at finances. Here's another way of looking at HR. Here's another way of looking at experiential. Now, what we do, just a few things to sum up, I mean, to say briefly, as I was told, there isn't much time. One is to foresee what's going to be happening, what people are going to be talking about. And who's the person who's doing that talk, right? When Anurag says peg it high, what it means is get the person wherever he is. He's in Hong Kong, he's in the US, he's in wherever, doesn't matter. He can't come physically now. It's become so much easier to get him or her virtually. We started spending huge sums of money then without even knowing what it would mean. It kind of became like we would sit to plan an event and say, so can you just decide on the foreign speakers? We would say, listen, but it costs money. He said, it doesn't matter. Let's get the people who know, right? So one is to foresee what's going to be happening, right? So we have to be the first ones to know about it, kind of have a sense about what it's going to be. Other point is, we know sponsors also want to talk about what's new with them, what's a new offering that they're going to be providing. So we have to set the context for that. Now, it can't be out of context. We several years ago, for instance, realized programmatic is going to be big. Now, by the way, before programmatic happened, there was digital marketing. Now, for us, digital marketing is like we started digital marketing 14 years ago. People are saying, होगा नहीं, कोई spend नहीं करेगा. ऐसे ही है, ठीक है. उसी बीच में वो bust भी हो गया. Internet companies started shopping, but it doesn't matter. ये तो होता रहेगा. But we have to continue with digital marketing. And today's already, if you see in the companies, but digital marketing isn't a thing of the past. Okay. So what has replaced it is MarTech. Okay. So MarTech is the flavor of the month, is the flavor at exchange4media. Digital marketing we do because there are like people who, it's a legacy thing. People want to enter those awards. People want to attend that event. We do a large one with one of the largest agencies in the world called Dentsu. So we have a legacy to maintain. Of course, MarTech is part of that. So that's another thing. We set the context. So we thought we also have to see our basic commitment remains to the marketer. He's our consumer, right? A customer is a sponsor, but a consumer is the marketer, the brand ecosystem, the people who run brands in the country, B2C, B2B, whatever, right? BFSI, retail, or technology, or anything. We have to see things from their point of view. We knew gaming was growing. Gaming became huge during COVID. So we had to do something where we could help the marketer figure how to use gaming as a medium, right? Now, it worked wonderfully well. People kept saying, no, but there aren't too many brands. I said, doesn't matter. If there are 10, if there are 12, and they discovered brands like Mercedes-Benz were using gaming, which kind of looked like, as if only kids play or, only certain kind of people play and not a Mercedes buyer. But we found that's not the case, right? And from Sprite to Mercedes to banks to whoever, because gaming was a language, we realized gaming is culture. Gaming is not leisure. It's not like what you play at leisure, right? And of course, it's not surprising to anyone that, the number is pretty much men, women into gaming is pretty much the same. There are gaming celebrities who are women. There are women developers. And there isn't one place where there's no gender kind of thing comes in, right? Both men and women gamers can be equally abusive. They can give the right kind of galis and still and be equally unpopular and be hated and trolled on social media. So that's another thing we do. But experience to us doesn't stop at the event. That's another thing I want to share. That's just the starting point. 300 people, 350 on a digital marketing event, we have 500, 700 people sometimes. But against those 300 people average, there are 300,000 people who have not attended, who couldn't make it. But the brand marketing ecosystem, you can imagine from a number, how many MBAs pass out every year and how many of those do marketing. All are going to be getting into the market system. We don't know whether the number is 25 lakhs or 40 lakhs or 30 lakhs, but it's a massive number. All of them obviously can't make it to the event for various reasons. So for us, it just starts there, right? And we take it to social media. We take videos to those places. I mean, to the places where they should be going. We put them on our website. We do editorial coverage. And we build on themes editorially till the next conference happens, right? You have to keep the issues alive. You have to keep the talk alive. You cannot talk programmatic one day or over 3 months when you're marketing the event or when you're doing the awards. You have to keep the talk going so that we build the community, right? So events can be both a starting point and the conclusion of a certain level or another touch point, but the talk continues. We often, there's something called connected TV. What's happening is that this TV, as we understand, DTH or through the cable is going to go, right? People watch what they want to watch on a screen of their choice. All those screens, and I'm not, television is just the name that's given to it, are now connected. So we know who watched what, where he stopped, where did, you don't have to watch the primetime news at 9 o'clock now. You can watch the 9 o'clock news at 11 o'clock if you like, right? Because it's all there in a way you want. You can get it recorded. There are people who I know who work night shifts, and they have the live coverage of the match recorded, and they kind of have prohibited their friends from like telling them the score or whatever. They go home, reach in the morning, and watch the entire match as it happened, as if like it's coming straight from Adelaide. You can do that, and from your phone, you don't even have to use a technology thing. So the experience of a B2B event, definitely market, definitely business. If it's B2B, business here and a business there, but the experience is about how it helps them with the business. If your content doesn't help people with their business, it's no good. It's bad experience. It's not an experience that you should have created. And having done that, living it or keeping it alive for the coming weeks, months, as Rohel is going to be doing with today's event. I hope he does, and it does include my name somewhere. And that's where it's an experience that never stops. Ideally, before you know it, the next event should have been announced, if whatever your interest of your interest in whatever domain they are. So these are the things I could brag about. There's much more. When it does come to sales, then I do love it. So I hope I could do a bit of that today, and I'm happy if I could. Thank you very much for being around.